everybody. Welcome to the Dog Mom Knits YouTube channel. My name is Amanda, and this is going to be a podcast slash vlog of reviewing my 2023 making, and maybe, I don't know if I'm going to go back and look at 2023. Actually, I don't know. I'm undecided, but setting up my notebook for 2024 and making my goals and plans for 2024. I made a lot of plans for 2023. I had 3 Make 9 boards. I had a stash challenge. I got nothing done. Like, nothing done. And I was really upset with myself because I felt like such a failure. And I was like, why? And I got the absolute most heartwarming comments during Vlogmas about giving myself a break and not being so hard on myself. And I will put one of them up here because there were so many, but that was one that I took a screenshot of and I have returned to so often. And so I decided, I was like, there's going to be no goals for the year. None. I'm not doing it to myself. I always set these crazy intense goals in January. And then by February, I'm like, no, thank you. I don't want to do this anymore. And then I feel guilty when December comes and I haven't met those goals. And so I was like, I'm not even going to set any. And then the night of New Year's Eve, December 31st, I was sitting here in my chair and I was scrolling Instagram in between playing games with the boys. And I was like, the word that came to, I was seeing other people's words of the year. Can you tell that I did not plan this before I started? I'm so sorry, you guys. I was seeing other people's posts about their words of the year. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And then the word free came to mind. And I went to the Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary and I looked up freedom and I looked up free. And I was like, that's it. That's going to be my word of this year. So I am loosely setting goals, which I'll talk about later. But there's a lot of freedom within those goals. I'm very much adapting Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady, her mindset of knit what brings you joy, make what brings you joy, and everything else will just work out because this is my hobby. This is like what I choose to do with my free time, and all the pressure and extra that I put on myself just takes the joy away. And I'm not here for that in 2024. I just want joy. That's it. I just want joy. So today is Saturday. I don't even know what day it is. The 6th. Saturday the 6th. I have my maker's notebook. It arrived this week. This is the cover. It is by Making Treasures. I don't know if that's legible. I bought this on Etsy. I will have it linked down below if it is still available, and I will have the shop linked down below where I bought it. But I love it. It is lots and lots of pages. It's going to be, I feel like, just super helpful for what I want to accomplish this year, which is really just to do what brings me joy. So then it's got the project notes section, which you can see I'm already using. So this is the first thing that with this notebook, like the first big project and the first big plan for 2024 that I'm going to tackle. I would like to work down some of my WIPs. That's what all of this is. Wait, I can't even really point. All of that is WIPs. I don't know how many there are, because I know my Ravelry project page is not up to date because I was casting on things and not adding it to Ravelry, but there has to be 20 projects over there easily. And I know some of them, I'm not even 100% sure what needle I was using. or like what pattern I was using or whatever. And I'm like, it's not helpful. So I want to knit down my WIPs. It's my first big project for 2024. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my WIPs here in just a minute. I'm going to open up the project bag, excuse me, project bag that's in, add a project page for it in the notes, in the notebook, add all the notes that I've got for it, including any notes that are coming over for my 2023 notebook or anything that I remember when I look at the project, so that I have all of my project notes for all of my projects in this notebook together. And as I decide, okay, I'm going to work on this project, like this WIP is going to now be getting my attention, I can just turn to the notebook and remember all the things that I need to remember. I bought myself a deluxe set of Ink Joy pens. I love these pens. Look at all those fun colors. And we are going to now go through the WIPs and start figuring out what's on the needles. Okay, what's on the needles? Am I keeping it or frogging it? Probably won't be frogging too much, but we'll see. And start filling in this notebook with anything. So it's Saturday, June 6th. No, it's not. Saturday, January 6th. I think this will take me pretty much all night to go through all of this and make all the notes. And I also want to be like looking at my Ravelry project page and making sure the notes are set up there too. So I'm expecting this to take pretty much all of tonight. And then tomorrow, I'll record more. It'll all be for you guys though in the same video. And you'll see what goal number 2 is. It has to do with that whole container right there, and how I'm going to use my notebook for that. So let's start checking out some WIPs, shall we? All right, so I'm just going to reach over here, grab something, maybe talk to you guys about it, maybe not, I don't know, we'll see. And just start back and forth. Project, notebook, and then I'm going to put it over there and try to organize it when I put it back. Ideally, it will fit, all of my WIPs will fit in this one big thing that I have over here in the corner. That might not happen for several months, but we'll see. So the first thing, it's not even WIPs, it's more just like crafts in general. My husband got me this so cute project bag for Christmas with all these little dachshunds on it. And Lorenzo got me some cross stitch kits. And that is so cute. So I have all of these in here. I went and got, okay, it's stuck. Sorry guys. I went and got a hoop. I got needles and a little tin to keep them in. So I will cross stitch. I have cross stitched before. I will cross stitch, but I'm not necessarily putting these in my notebook just yet because I haven't technically started. So, cross stitch. This one is Lorenzo's temperature scarf. I did some reworking. If you watched the podcast back in September and October, my plan was to knit the boys a temperature scarf while they were here. I have little books from Mad Cow Mandy Designs. I got very behind because I chose 10 colors per scarf, and that was way too overwhelming for me. So a couple weeks ago, I narrowed it down. Each boy only has 5 colors. I'm still really behind, but catching up. So I'm going to start with Lorenzo's. This is what his looks like so far. This is through sometime in December. Looks so good. I'm so happy with it. But I'm going to start by adding his to my notebook. I'll add Simon's to my notebook. And then that's what's in this basket is Simon's scarf is in here. Come here. It's in this bag. Sorry guys, I'm trying to show you all the things before I need to like break for some reason. You can see how behind I am because this is how big Simon's is. That's okay. Now that I've gotten it pared down, Lorenzo's went much faster. So my plan for 2024 is that I'm going to be working on the boys' scarves on Sundays. That instead of trying to do the 2 rows a day, I'm going to do 14 rows a week on Sundays because I just feel like that's more manageable for me. But I'm going to go ahead and put these in the notebook. I will say that this is a project bag by Barley Pearls, and this is one that my husband made me, which his YouTube channel is The Guy Who Sews, and I am using all Knit Picks Brava yarn for their scarves. Okay, I think that's all I have to tell you about these. Let's go ahead. The next WIP I grabbed is in the bag that my 2022 Blush Yarns Advent came in. And this is my, what was it called? My Stephen West Mystery Knit Along for 2023. This is the Geo Gradient Shawl. I'm using 5 colors of Emma's yarn. I will have my Ravelry project page linked down below so that I don't have to say all the colors. I'm still in what was clue 2, I think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was clue 2. I'm obsessed with this thing. I have obviously seen spoilers. I'm obsessed with every spoiler. This is getting finished, unlike my twists and turns, which I frogged this time last year. So that means since I'm not frogging it, I have to set up a page for it in my notebook. Let's go ahead and do that. So this project is already in the notebook. It's the first one that I wrote in. These are the socks that I'm knitting for Lorenzo, because typically I knit our exchange students a pair of socks when they arrive, but we didn't have enough notice that he was coming. So, but I'm getting around to them now. So this is what the first sock looks like. It is so fun. I love it. This is PNW Pearls. Never remember the name. Stars and Stripes Forever. That's what it is. Yes. Stars and Stripes Forever. And it's so much fun. I love it. And I'm already past the heel on the second sock. So hopefully I will be done with these soon. And he will have his socks. But like I said, they're already in the notebook. So I don't have to write anything down. So this is my, I almost dropped it. This is my Advent project, which if you watched Vlogmas, you would have seen. This is my Lamina wrap that I am knitting using the Castle View Yarns 2023 Ice Cream Advent. Oops. Yarn ran away from me. I'm trying to remember which side is the front. Okay, this is the front of the project. Just in case you did not watch Vlogmas and did not see it. I am over halfway. I love it. So it's going to, come here, yarn. Nope, not going to happen. It's going to stay on the needles, which means it needs a project page in my notebook. So in this basket is quite possibly one of my oldest WIPs. This is yarn that I bought at Nundle Woolen Mill in Australia back in, I don't even know, 2017. That's a long time ago. I am knitting a blanket out of yarn that I bought while I was there. This is what I have done so far. Not quite sure why I chose to put the camera that far away from me. Anyway, this is what I've done. I'm doing it in the colors of the rainbow. So I have green, blue, light purple, and dark purple left. It does not take very long. It is an incredibly chunky yarn. The cakes for this are like, I mean, look at this next to my head. It's so big. It's huge. It's just not my favorite thing to knit because the yarn is so bulky that it actually is kind of difficult But I really want this project. So I am not going to frog it. I am going to finish it. So that means it needs a project page. And if you haven't, I don't know how much you guys can see because again, I put you so far away. But as I pick the color for each project, I am being crazy enough to change pens each project. So like Lorenzo's favorite color is yellow, but I'm obviously not going to write in yellow because future Amanda would not be able to read it. So I wrote his in orange. I wrote Simon's in blue because that's his favorite color. I did my Geo Gradient shawl in pink because they're all varying colors of pink. And I did my Lumina wrap in brown because the waffle cone color, which is the color that runs all the way through the scarf, is brown. So I don't know what I'll pick for this one, but that's what I'm doing. I'm just taking a colored pen out of here that I feel like matches the project. I'm writing in that. So, because why not? Why not be a little extra if you can be? So let's get this blanket added in. I pulled out my notebook from 2023 so that I can transfer some of the notes over because so far I've been able to remember most of the notes, but I did not remember this one. So I went ahead and grabbed the notebook so that I can go ahead and use it to transfer some of the notes over. But this pile is yarn that is not in the bins yet, which that is future Amanda's problem. And then I have my giant bucket. I don't even know if I can lift this thing. Yes, I can. I have this. These are all WIPs. Trusty WIP bucket. This is what I would ideally love all of my WIPs to fit into, so that I can flip the lid and zip it closed. And yeah, it's not going to happen, but you know, a girl can dream, can't she? This is in, these are hats that I was making a how to knit a hat tutorial out of. That didn't really happen, the how to knit a hat tutorial. But I'm loving the pattern that I'm using and I still want to knit the hats. These are going to be for my niece and my nephew. So I am going to add project pages in my notebook for these. I'm using Cascade 220 Superwash. Pretty sure that's what it's. Yes, Cascade 220 Superwash. I've used this yarn for so many things because I bought a blanket quantity. The gray is Space Needle and the pink is Pink Rose. So the gray for my nephew, the pink for my niece. And again, it's in a JD Studios 480 bag. So let's get these added. So I'm realizing that my notebook from last year doesn't have all of the information in it. So I'm going to need to go onto Ravelry and pull some information for the notebook for this year, but that's okay. And usually I use my phone or my computer, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to keep going through the projects. Then I can go back through, make sure everything's on Ravelry, and then pull any information off of Ravelry that I don't have already. So, yes. All right, so this is a Gilmore Girls bag by Molly Klein Designs, which means this should be my Gilmore Girls socks, which it is. This is Leap of Faith yarns. I can't remember now. I know it's Leap of Faith yarns. I don't remember the colorway. It's Gilmore Girls themed yarn, and I cannot, off the top of my head, remember what pattern I'm using. I think I'm using the Twisted Staircase by Craft Nut Yarns. This is why we have knitting notebooks. All right, so I'm definitely keeping these. They're absolutely beautiful and knitting up gloriously. So that means I better get to writing. Okay. So this is a bag by 3 by the Sea Designs. Copper is refusing to go outside, so he is being evicted. This is the bag by 3 by the Sea Designs. In this is my DK weight jelly roll blanket that I am using minis from Tia's Terrific Threads Patreon for. I am following, it is like all wrapped up neatly, so I'm not even going to unroll it. I'm using, wait, what was I saying? I don't know. What was I saying, you guys? US 5s, Knit Pride Dreams. I'm definitely keeping this. This is a long-term project, but I love it. So it gets added to the notebook next. I'm going to take a break. Take some pictures of Lorenzo, who is going to his homecoming dance tonight, and maybe eat some dinner. And then I will come back and finish recording all of my WIPs. All right, back at it. I am tired. I do not want to sit and go through the rest of these WIPs, but I also know that if I don't, it's not going to get done. Lorenzo is at the homecoming dance. Well, on the way to it. He might be there already. And I took some pictures, much to his dismay. Teenage boys, am I right? If he says it's okay when he gets home for me to include the pictures in this video, then you would have seen them already. So, let's just keep going, shall we? I'm just going to keep diving into this box. I'm pulling out a project. So, this is a bag. This is Bags by Awesome Granny. I think it's my Vibes tee. No, I knew it was one of my sweaters. It is my Weekender by Andrew Mallory. I'm knitting it using Knit Picks Brava, I think, in the color Lady Slipper. I have this. Oh my gosh, it's so wrinkled because it's been in this bag forever. I have this much done. I do not remember how many inches or anything I was planning to knit. But yeah, this is how much I've done. I'm definitely keeping this. I'm very interested. Sorry, Finley just bumped into the tripod. I'm very interested in keeping or finishing this project and being able to wear this sweater. So yeah, it's a no-brainer for me that it is being added to the notebook, because I definitely, oops, I forgot my little Notions pouch that came with it. It's so cute. Definitely keeping it and finishing it. Cross your fingers for me that it'll be finished in 2024. So that means this sweater bag is my Vibes tee, which if you watched Vlogmas, I made a sad discovery at the beginning of Vlogmas that I thought I was knitting this on a 5 and I was knitting it on a 6. I was holding one needle that was a 5 and one needle that was a 6 for my interchangeable set. I have absolutely no clue how I did that, why I did that, how I didn't notice. As soon as I took the project out of the bag, I noticed. So like, how did I not notice when I was knitting on it? I don't know the things. So yeah, I'm knitting this out of 4 colors of Emma's yarn. Can you tell I'm a big fan of Emma's yarn? It looks like this. It's navy blazer, Barbie girl, orbit, I can't remember what the yellow is. I know I wrote it down because I have made so many notes on this pattern. Buttonwood, that's what it is. The yellow is called Buttonwood. So I have split for sleeves. I am well past the sleeve, like well down the body. Now I need to, I'm going to block it, put it on, try it on tubing, block it, try it on, see whether it even fits with the fact that I'm knitting on a 6 instead of a 5. And then go from there on whether I am going to knit it or frog it. If I end up frogging it, I will probably cast it back on and start again. So I'm going to make a project page for it, but I'm kind of bummed every time I see this project and know that there is a chance that I have done all that work and it's not going to fit. My next project is in a bag by Little Skein in the Big Wool. It's an Anne of Green Gables themed bag. This is my outstranding shawl, which I don't remember a whole lot about. I have not worked on this in forever. I love it. And I love the colors that I've chosen. I just have to decide if I'm going to knit it. And I am not ready to commit to frogging this. So I'm going to keep it because I'm not 100% sure what I want to do. So I'm going to keep it. I am using like a hodgepodge of yarn. I think the main skein is yarnable, and then I kind of pieced together the other colors that I'm going to use, but the color you just saw is yarnable. I'm using Knitter's Pride Zings in a size 6. Nope, a size 7. So yeah, not too sure about this one, but because I'm not sure, I'm not going to frog it. I'm just going to leave it, and then future Amanda can decide what I want to do with this one. And so that means that I am going to go ahead and take a second to write it in my notebook. It would be really nice if I could say that we are getting to the bottom of this pile. I can't say that, but it would be nice if I could. Can you guys say a prayer for my husband? That cough has found the cough that's like going around. I don't know. Is it going around your area? Like where you just have a cough for like a month, and it's what I think I had in December, and now it's his turn, and it's just no fun for him. So the next project is in a bag by the guy who sews. It's my husband. He doesn't have an Etsy shop, but he does have a YouTube channel. Check him out. This is the design that I was going to release on December 20th. And then didn't because life, chaos, life. These are my cozy winter socks. I am knitting them out of yarn from Granite State Yarn. Lauren of Granite State Yarns. I love them. I'm obsessed with them. I want to wear them. I want to get the pattern out. Of course, that means I have to finish them. You know, there's that. So let's get them added to the notebook, which hopefully will be motivation to get them finished. We've gotten down far enough in the bin that I cannot just pull out a project bag and go, oh yeah, I know what that is. Which means they've been on hibernation for quite some time. This is a bag by Awesome Granny. I love this bag. It is This is my Wallop cowl that I am knitting out of my 3 Tulips Yarn Co. February Advent that I opened last year. This is one of the ones, this is the other project that was being knit on the, one was a US 6 and one was a US 5. So this one, it won't really matter because it's a cowl, but I do need to kind of figure out which one I was actually knitting on, like which one the working needle was, whether it was a 5 or a 6. But this is what it looks like. It is gorgeous, and I want this project done so bad. I'm thinking I might pull this out in February and kind of take another shot at finishing it this February, since I didn't finish it last February. But I am really, really excited about that project, and really, really, really excited to have it done because it's going to be so beautiful and so easy to wear at school and around on the weekends and all that stuff. So definitely not frogging it, definitely putting it in the notebook because I definitely want it done. Okay. This is a bag that I ordered when I ordered the yarn. This is from cesium yarn. It was the Clue mystery sock yarn that they had put out in October. I cast on, I don't even remember how much of this project I did. Can I just be honest? I know I did not open all of the yarn. I didn't even remember when I got to the, when I actually had time, like during the month, I didn't even open all of the colors. It was, October is so crazy for me. I don't even know what I was thinking. Anyway, it's because this was based on the movie Clue, and my husband loves that movie. And so I was like, I will buy this and I will knit him socks. So yeah, apparently I have the cuff of one started. It's not done. These will definitely be finished. I definitely want to finish these and gift them to my husband because I think he will really enjoy them. So another one for the notebook. So this project is in a bag by the guy who sews, my husband. The yarn is Yarn Cafe Creations Boozy Hot with Sale, I believe it was called. I have knit one sock, and I am not interested in knitting the second. So my plan for this one is that I'm not going to make myself knit the second sock because I don't want to. And that's okay. So I'm going to take all of the stitch markers off of this one, add this to my scrap bin, which is behind my chair. And if there's enough, maybe I'll knit myself a pair of socks out of it one day in the future because it's beautiful. It's the pattern, and I don't want to mention it because I don't want to be like that person. But, I mean, if you want to private message me and ask, you can. But yeah, it was the pattern, not the yarn, but I'm not going to knit the second one. So I'm done. I'm not doing it. So let me make sure there's nothing else in this project bag. Okay. So yeah, wait, why does it feel like there's something in there? Haha, there is something. I don't know what I'm going to do with just one sock. But that's future Amanda's problem. For now, I'm just going to reclaim my stitch markers, not write this in the notebook, and move on. All right. So this is another bag from the guy who sews. This is a pair of socks. This is how far I am, just that far. This is the main color, and this is the mini. I am trying to remember who this yarn is from, or hoping the tag is in here, which it usually is. The yarn is by Holly Dye Works. Do I have the tag in here? Yes, I do. Okay, good. Good job, Amanda. It is Enchanted Rose. It was a Beauty and the Beast colorway, and that is my favorite Disney movie. I am knitting I believe it's called The String of Hearts by Maddie Hobbs, who is one half of the We Share Needles podcast. And I love it. And I love that pattern. I've knit it before. I was one of her test knitters. So definitely staying on the needles, definitely interested in finishing it. So, all right, this feels good. Okay, this bag is empty. So I'm not sure why it's in here. That's okay, because it's not in there anymore. Put it over there. Oh, that's so funny. I forgot that I took this project out. Oh my gosh, there's like needles in here. Guys. Being lazy and just throwing stuff in here instead of actually finishing it. Is that everything in here? Yes. Okay, so this is my yarn from Brianna of Little Wolf Knits. I was knitting a muscle burrow out of it. This was an exclusive colorway for the We Share Needles membership. I took it out of here, out of its project bag, because I started knitting a Musselburgh hat for Simon. And this is just hanging out, waiting for me to finish that one. So honestly, I might grab that project bag that I just had, that I just emptied, and put that in there just for safekeeping. But it is definitely in hibernation until Simon's Musselburgh is finished. But I do want to finish it because I think it'll be really beautiful. But I mean, none of these things have like a rush date, because honestly, I just want my WIPs to be done. So adding it to the book. So this is a bag from Free by the Sea Designs. In it is a set of yarn, or a skein of yarn, cake of yarn from Ginger Snap Yarns. Yes, Ginger Snap Yarns, and the colorway is Work Pants. I started this project with a specific recipient in mind, and do not know if that person is going to be the one who actually gets these socks. So I need to kind of decide that, which is why I'm not like too concerned about them and why they've been in hibernation for well over a year. So decisions to make on these. I'm not going to frog them yet, but this is a little bit like the Outstanding shawl, where I am going to need to like really think about it and make some decisions and give myself permission in the future if I just am like, no, I'm not going to knit that for that person. Either continue them and give them to someone else, or frog them and repurpose the yarn for another project. So yeah, I'm going to put it in the notebook, but with the understanding that there's a chance that this is going to end up being, yeah, incomplete in the future. 5 more projects. This is ridiculous. Like, why do I have this many things cast on? I don't even know. All right. This is another bag by the guy who sews. This is a pair of socks that is using yarn that I hand dyed. I had a friend who set up kind of a like simple little design studio in her garage, and she invited us over, and a bunch of us over, and we dyed yarn, and I dyed up this yarn. And so these socks are very special to me because I dyed up the yarn. I did not notice until I just looked in the camera how much that has spiraled. Yeah, I'm working on the first sock. I'm also going through my projects and like reclaiming my scissors and my little tins, because they don't need to be in these bags right now because these bags are not getting used. Okay, so I hand dyed the yarn, right? This is my yarn. I think it's really pretty in the skein or in the cake, but not in a sock. So do I frog it and make a Musselburgh out of it? I've got two cakes that are each 50 grams. So I could frog it and hold these two double, like basically hold it double with itself and knit a hat out of it. And the colors are just so pretty when they're here in the cakes. And for some reason here, they just look muddy. Like, I don't know why, but I just don't like it.
Right.
So I think I'm going to sit and frog this. And then the yarn will go into stash. and I'll decide what I want to do with it. Future Amanda can decide that, but I'm going to reclaim the stitch markers and the progress keepers and the needles, and then yeah, I can decide stash stuff later. So this is a bag. Yeah, there it is. I'm like, come on now. By So Crazy Crafter. I love this bag. It is so cute. This is yarn that I caked up and started a pair of socks and realized that this would make a much more beautiful muscle burrow hat. But I've knit quite a few muscle burrow hats, so maybe this is going to actually be a pair of socks. But it is an unused skein of yarn, so I'm reclaiming my project bag, putting the yarn over there so it can go into stash, taking the needles and putting those back, and make sure my project bag is empty. And then yeah, that is not cast on. It's not an actual project. It's more just an idea. And I just never got back to it. So what's this? Oh my gosh, this thing. This is a bag by Mountain State Stitches. This is my Katie Goes Loopy shawl using, hold on, I'm trying to figure out which one's the front. I think this is the front. Using Wonderland yarns. I have so much done and this is getting frogged. I do not like, this is originally supposed to be knit on fingering weight yarn. I am not using fingering weight yarn. This is much more like sport or DK. And I will not ever wear this. So this is being frogged. And I think I am going to turn the yarn into a garment of some kind. This past summer, I finished my summer, no, it's not called summer, just the lounging tee by Joji Locatelli. And I think I could adapt that pattern to using all of these colors and it would end up being really cool looking. And I've already looked for patterns, so I know that this is being turned into a garment. So yeah, this is not, I'm going to have my husband help me. All this yarn is getting recaked. That's a no. No need to write it in the notebook because it's not happening. Okay, this one is another project that it was frogged. Did I frog this project? Yes. This was my puck shawl. I realized very far into the project that I had misread the pattern and frogged it. I really want to use this yarn for something, but I don't know if I'm going to use it for another puck shawl because I have so many shawls and I don't wear them very often, especially not a DK weight one. So I might be repurposing this. I'm going to take the needles out of the bag. I might be repurposing this yarn into something else. It is Neighborhood Fiber Company in like these grays and reds. And it's just like, this is some of the red, but it is, yeah, it's all been cut. There's lots of ends. I don't know. I don't know what this will become. I don't know anymore if it's going to be a puck shawl. So it's in a bag from the guy who sews. So I think I'm going to end up putting the yarn together and adding it back into my stash and then deciding in the future what I want this to be, but then being able to get my project bag back because I'm not going to be knitting that project. And then this is a completed object. I knit a hat 2 years ago, I think it was. And I saved the yarn because I told myself that I was going to knit another one of these. You can see that totally happened. This is going to go into my stash, which is, again, behind my chair. And if I knit it again, great. This is the first or second bag my husband ever made me. I love it. So I'm taking that out, reclaiming the project bag, putting the hat somewhere where I can actually use it. It's a little too big is what it is. Like, I followed the measurements and everything, but like, it's huge. But it's, you know, it's not terrible, I guess. My mom said she would wear it, so I think I need to just go ahead and gift it to her and stop letting it sit in a project bag in the bottom of my WIPs basket. Hello. What is my life? So I'm just checking. I have to lean around Finley because she's decided to join me. That is all of them. Let me go through my notebook and count and see how many WIPs I have. So I have 18 WIPs. I honestly thought that number was going to be way higher. So 18, that actually seems manageable and doable to be able to get that number down. I'm not saying in 2024 I'm going to knit all of my WIPs and have absolutely no WIPs. I'm also not saying that I'm going to not cast anything on until I finish all of my WIPs. That's not going to be a thing either. I just want to knit some, most, any of my WIPs. So I just want to show you that, like, this is where I'm at in my maker's notebook. I'm that far. There are still, hold on one second. Let me actually find the end of it. Is that it? Is this the end? Yes. There are this many more project pages in this notebook. So, love that. I love that there's so many project pages so that I can start, like, I can keep track of everything in here. It's so helpful. So far, I am such a huge fan of this notebook. So, yeah. Feels good. 18 WIPs. I can do that, right? Yeah. I'm going to go try to put all these WIPs back in that basket. See if by some miracle they all fit. Go frog my Katie Goes Loopy shawl. And then find something to knit. Because I've been talking about knitting for a long time tonight. So maybe I should actually knit.